this is certainly one hell of a first video to make for on here, but given some things lately, some things some friends have said to me in the last couple of days, I thought might as well start with a topic that I definitely understand and deal with quite often. So yeah, as the title of the video says, imposter syndrome can be soul crushing. That's definitely true. So yeah, here we go. Well, this is a topic I certainly have been dealing with for a really long time, and also I do apologize if the audio quality is a little funky. I've been fiddling with both Audacity and Reaper. Never used an audio recording program outside of OBS, so I got a lot to learn. I got a lot to figure out, and yeah, thankfully, because this is new to me, it manages to circumvent the imposter syndrome shit that this video is going to be about, because I don't have any baseline for it technically, in a sense, if that makes sense. So yeah, not the point. But what kind of sparked and spurred this video on for me to make it? Well, I've wanted to make art videos, art talks, speed paints, stuff from my stream, and put it on here for a long time. I just haven't gotten around to it. But what kickstarted this, at least, was, as I mentioned, I definitely deal with imposter syndrome. I am not the only artist. So many artists, both professional, hobbyists, and beginners, deal with it. But what kickstarted me wanting to at least finally make an art talk video for here was a couple of days ago. I kind of mentioned to a friend that imposter syndrome's kicking my ass, and they said some A, very motivational, but B, also things that kind of hit a little close to home in a sense. That I should try and be my own hype man, and I should definitely trust my friends and those I know who are telling me I'm doing great. And they're not wrong about that part. The trusting in my friends part, I do that, but sometimes your own doubts and inner demons can absolutely overpower and outweigh what others say and view. You, your skills, your abilities, your capabilities, what you create. Because, as the old saying goes, every artist is their own worst critic. And I certainly am my worst critic. Not just that, my demons, they got fucking hands, so they contribute to it too. Now, also, if you might be wondering what the hell, especially if you're seeing the art on screen, no, I'm not trying to fish for compliments or pity or anything. Yes, it's gonna be a small brag. I fucking hate that. But I have friends who work in the industry, and some of them have shown their art directors my art, which their art directors have gone, why isn't your friend trying to get into the industry? I've also spoken to other professionals who think I should be trying to get into the industry. We'll leave it at that, more or less. That being said, this is years ago now, so things have definitely changed. But yeah, so no, I'm not fishing for compliments or pity or anything. I'm trying to make a video that a lot of artists go through and deal with. And also, as I said, to kickstart art videos on this channel. Something I wanted to do for a while. But what's fed into my imposter syndrome has definitely what's definitely contributed to my imposter syndrome, at least, I guess, would be, well, obviously I haven't drawn as much as I would like to, as I want to, as I kind of should, is the fact that my day job, laugh at it and think of it as you will, but I I'm an extreme hermit, especially outside of work, and the work I did very much was having to deal with people, having to help people, having to make decisions in regards to people. And I'm also an extreme introvert, because talking to people fucking exhausts me. Being around people, more so. So, yeah, as I said, laugh at it and think of it as you will, but I was really tired and exhausted from my day job a lot, and also burnt out really quick because of it, because I'm also not exactly a people person. But due to that, I was always so tired after work, and for a little bit when I started my day job at the time, it wasn't so bad. I was kind of managing things a little, but I burnt out really fast. A, because of the job itself, but B, because I kept very much wanting to just draw, and it's all I ever want to do, but that contributed to it. So, because I haven't done much art, and there is pages and lists of things I need to get done, I should get done, and I want to get done, for my own projects, for a project me and a friend are working on together, for some fun stuff, for my stream. Just, there is a lot. But because of work and how it was affecting me, I just wasn't drawing as much, or nowhere near as much as I wanted to either, which very much feedback looped into the imposter syndrome whenever I would try. Like, I'm getting back into the swing of things finally, slowly, and by doing just working on a piece I've been trying to finish to update the art on my stream intro, which I started working on June last year, and I've been fiddling around with it, working on it bit by bit here and there over time since then, but it's still not finished yet. But that's the thing I go to when I try and get back into the swing of art. The issue, because as I mentioned I haven't done a ton lately, is the imposter syndrome rears its insidious soul-crushing head. Because I then start to question my skills, my capabilities, if I can do any of it, because there is, as I mentioned, a giant backlog that I have to get done, that I want to get done, I need to get done. And it's definitely been irritating some friends, I know that much, and that in turn has also been adding on to it. But the friend I mentioned who said some stuff a couple of days ago, they were saying that the imposter syndrome is obviously, as I mentioned, a thing that a lot of artists, professional or otherwise, deal with. It's just a thing. It's common and it's frustrating. But my friend the other day had said that I should try and be my own hype man, even if a little, and to trust my friends and those that I know who are telling me I'm doing great. And trusting my friends, for the most part, I definitely do. But sometimes your own self-doubts, obviously, because of the imposter syndrome, and also because of your own inner demons, can very much overpower and outweigh external views. Because the good old saying, every artist is their worst critic, and I am 1000% my own worst critic. But being my own hype man is something I've always struggled with, because I have tried in the past, but then because I also suffer anxiety and depression. I am the quote-unquote quintessential artist. Fun, bland, I know, but because whenever I have tried to be my own hype man, even if a little in the past, it feedback loops into my anxiety, because then I go, I'm being too egotistical, I'm being too full of myself, I'm being too, think of whatever way you want to put it. And then that feeds into my imposter syndrome because I'm going, well, I'm being too full of myself, but am I actually capable or good enough? Am I skilled enough? It's a vicious cycle, and it keeps feedback looping, and it has been more so when I was at my day job at the time. And oh god, it's aggravating because sometimes you feel wholeheartedly alone, and like, I have friends, I have support. I do talk about things a little to them, but I try not to a lot because I don't want to be a burden. I don't want to irritate them. I don't want to annoy them. I don't want to add my shit to what their shit is. So I usually try and just, I guess, wallow. Sit somewhere on my own. Deal with it. But every artist deals with it. Well, okay, not every artist. There are some who don't. But imposter syndrome is very common. Both professionally, hobbyist, amateur, mid-professional. It's a thing that's very heavily dealt with, and it can definitely feel isolating, and that there's no one else out there who might understand, who might get it, but there are. Everyone might not quite go through the exact same iteration of it that you might be, but we get it. We understand. Just don't let it win, because it is definitely soul crushing if you just sit with it quietly and let it fester. Fester and build up. Though, if you're struggling to make something because of the imposter syndrome, do you possibly try and talk to someone? Like a friend, maybe? Obviously up to you. And take their words. Don't just, like, take their words at face value. Take their words seriously, because, as I mentioned, I've had friends show my shit to professionals, again, years ago, who questioned why I wasn't trying to get in the industry. Which my friend at the time knew, but it's why they showed it to their art director. Because I view my own self, my own skills, my self-worth abysmally. Horrendously so. And so they were trying to A, get actual professional opinion outside of their own, and B, yeah. It's like another one I met, when they said what they said to me at the time, I said to this exact friend actually that I didn't fully believe what they said because my own anxiety at the time was telling me that they were just saying something nice to be nice, kind of thing. And when I said that to my friend, they kind of went, "You're a fucking idiot. No, you're a bit too much in your head about that." I'm like, okay, so, but imposter syndrome is exceedingly common. It is insidious. It can eat at you, especially if you let it, like I have at the moment. But sometimes there will come something that'll kick you, that'll kind of finally give you a bit of a nudge of motivation to power through it. As I said, I've still been dabbling and scribbling and sketching, even amongst it all, but nothing that I actually want to get done. I need to get done, and I should get done. But I'm getting there. Slowly. It was like, early yesterday I was watching another friend's stream, and I was talking about it, and saying that, I'm slowly trying to get back into the flow of things, shaking off the rust, and said friend was like, the great thing about art, it's a lot like riding a bike, and it honestly is. Yeah, your muscle memory might be a little faded at first. You might not be quite where you were, that's for sure, but it literally is like riding a bike. Eventually, once you shake off that rust, you'll be back to where you were, and I'm slowly getting back to that point already. But they also made a good point. Imposter syndrome has a good knack at rearing its ugly head, especially when you don't want it to. Because like I was slowly getting things done, and then it popped its head, and then I just deflated so thoroughly that I kind of haven't done too much over the last couple of days. But given what my friend said a couple of days ago, and then yesterday, yeah, it was a good nudge, good kick. But you're not alone. It will eventually pass. It may never fully go away. Some people, it does seem like they, suffer imposter syndrome for a while, and then it's gone. They don't have to worry about it. But it's usually always there. They just have a system and a method to manage it better. But it'll pass. And if you're struggling with it at the moment yourself, hey, take this time to maybe just relax, read, play a game, watch a show, watch some anime, watch some K-dramas. My sister's actually got me into K-dramas, and some of them are actually pretty fucking good. But do something that you also enjoy, because I may not have the best memories of my childhood and teens. In fact, a lot of it's blurry and I don't really remember anything, but I have a very, very specific memory of, I've been drawing since I was about 5, and I've wholeheartedly adored it and loved it since. And part of what's also helped feed into my imposter syndrome is I haven't had too many people growing up that supported my interest and love for art and creating, except for a couple of teachers in high school. One was my architect teacher, because in high school I actually kind of wanted to become an architect. I was good at it. I picked up perspective really quickly. I love perspective. But I sadly didn't have the grades to end up studying architecture, because most of the classes I had to take in high school I was forced to take. I didn't get to choose what classes I wanted to do, and because of that I had zero interest in like majority of the classes, so I ended up with okay grades but not good enough to study architecture. But one of my computer science teachers had gone to Japan during our mid-semester break, which I think is like a week or two roughly. I can't remember, it's been a long time since I was in high school. I'm a fossil. I'm maybe not as old as that word might make you think, but I'm definitely older than I sound and possibly come across. But yeah, when school started back up after the mid-semester break, I had gotten called to the teacher's office during lunch, because all the teachers of each department shared an office. So like, the English department would have an office in a certain building, comp science teachers had an office in more or less the comp science building. I got called to the teacher's office, and I wasn't a terrible kid or student. I was, as one of my other comp science teachers put it, I was very spasmodic in my workflow and work ethic. I wasn't stupid, I was capable, it's just and I also draw a lot in class, so I was like, I might be in trouble for something. So went to the office, and said teacher that had gone to Japan handed me a single volume of Detective Conan, or Case Closed, depending upon what name you want to use. And I don't remember the exact words that this teacher said, but they more or less went, I know you love art, you're pretty good at it, you'll keep getting better, keep making art, don't stop creating, I believe in you. Said volume of Detective Conan, or Case Closed, is one of my most valued things. It is in fact sitting up on the shelf above my desk, along with my entire collection of Agate. But that in and of itself has been one of the few things and motivational things about art that has kept me going, and does keep me pushing through those times when every artist, when their imposter syndrome or when their demons try and claw their way into a victory, in a sense of getting you to just give up, to stop trying to chase and pursue the thing that you love. Especially because, as I mentioned, it can feel very isolating, because you want to talk to someone, and sometimes you do, and you feel like you're frustrating them, you're irritating them, you're being a burden. Because as my friend that said the motivational stuff to me a couple of days ago also said, they just wished I'd stop being so rough on myself. And that is something I certainly struggle with. But that's due to certain things that have happened throughout my life to kind of very much enact that part, but that's not the point of this video. But they just wish I'd stop being so rough on myself, because said friend, actually a lot of my other friends who still work in like the industry and shit, or are working on their own stuff, want me to make merch. They want merch of my art. And well, one of them, although I know all of them want it, but one of them wants me to turn a relatively old piece of art, which hopefully is on the screen now, into a mouse mat, same, diff. But I had laid it out and kind of designed out how I wanted the mouse mat to look, and I still have it. The biggest issue is at the moment, and for the longest time sadly, was money, because I found a place to get it made, and like roughly the size that I want to get made, but it's not super expensive, but it's, you know, still money, and I haven't had the most for a while, but things are not so bad, so not the point again. But that's still in the plan. I want to get that mouse mat made, and only a small batch, just a small batch to send out to some of my friends, and maybe have some left over to, I don't know, give out or something. But this is definitely, I don't know if you can tell, an unscripted video. I maybe should script it. Maybe I should try and script other videos. Part of probably why I won't for a while is it, in turn of just being like impromptu and just as hodgepodge kind of rambly as it is, helps circumvent the imposter syndrome that might flare up from trying to script it out, being like, is this a good topic? Would anyone care? Just, you know, even if you don't watch this, or you are, cool either way, doesn't bother me. I'm making it because I wanted to make some art stuff and art related topics. Imposter syndrome is definitely in it, and it's something I'm currently trying to get out of. But just know you're never alone. It will pass. It will fade. Keep going, skeleton. Fucking Dark Souls. But it'll pass. Just don't give up. Keep trying. And eventually, you'll get back to it. And eventually, I hope, you'll find a way to manage your imposter syndrome. Or even mitigate it in a sense. Satan knows I'm definitely fucking struggling to do that though. And maybe one day I will. But I hope for the best for you. And if you've listened to this, thanks. And I'll see you whenever I make the next video.